I'm so tired of trying to be this perfect mom. I'm done.
You said everything I've ever felt about being a mom, but couldn't say...
There's so many rules now.
Don't punish your kids.
Don't say no to your kids.
We all work too damn hard trying to make our kids' lives amazing and magical. Their lives already are amazing and magical. Be bad moms.
Oh, I'm in. To bad moms!
So here we have another female-led chick flick comedy. And I do not have a very good track record with these. I thought Bridesmaids was overrated. I thought The Heat was overrated. Never really get into them that much. So, Bad Moms, did this change my mind? Was Bad Moms funny? Yes! This movie was fucking hilarious. What do you think?
I enjoyed it. Then again, I'm a girl. I like chick flicks. I was actually surprised that you wanted to go and see it with me. Most guys are like, oh no, fuck that. You know, Jason Bourne was out, so I was almost thinking that we were going to both go and see different movies or whatever. This is more a movie you'd want to go and see with some girlfriends after you've had some wine or whatever and laugh even more. But
yeah, this is definitely geared towards girls. This is something that you want to, like you said, go with all your girlfriends. And, you know, it appeals a lot to moms, but it also appeals a lot in general to parents. So a lot of the jokes, you know, they're really smartly written to appeal to parents, and that's why I got a lot out of it too. So this movie is directed by John Lucas and Scott Moore, and it stars Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell, Kathryn Hahn as your main three characters, and Christina Applegate is pretty much the main antagonist.
I love Kathryn Hahn in everything. Anything she plays in, she's always like the weird character that kind of comes out of the woodworks. You don't really expect her. But she's always the super slutty woman. She plays in Step Brothers as one of the guy's wives.
Yeah, I've seen her.
Like
I've seen her in a lot of movies, and she's always pretty funny. But they definitely let the leash off with her on this movie, and she's definitely the best part. But like I was saying, you know, it's written really smartly to appeal to all parents, not just women.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of dad jokes and everything in there too, but just the jokes all surround stuff that, you know, we as parents go through every single day. And that's where you get a lot of laughs from, because you see the things that they have to struggle through, and you're like, God, that's my life.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, exactly. So that, you know, and I thought that this is one of those few comedies where the jokes are well paced throughout the whole movie. A lot of comedies nowadays kind of lose steam by about the second act or third act, and I felt like I was laughing pretty much the whole way through.
Yeah, I agree. And they had so many jokes about different things. It wasn't like how you say some movies are now, where they have a joke and they play off of it and continue to play off of it until it's burned to the ground.
Squeeze the life out of it.
Yeah, so I like how they had their jokes placed throughout the movie. It was very good, and they were all different. Yeah,
they had jokes coming from a lot of different directions, because you got, you know, you have Mila Kunis, who's pretty much the main character, and she's kind of your average everyday mom trying to, you know, struggle with balancing at-home life and part-time job, and her, you know, her struggling marriage and stuff like that. And then you get Kristen Bell, who's kind of your real...
She's the overworked mom with four kids at home.
She's the one with like the real controlling husband, and she has to do everything, and she's got to iron underwear and do all this crazy stuff.
You
and
see her throughout the movie. It doesn't matter what she's wearing. She's wearing this like beaded necklace that says mom, so it's like arts and craftsy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. She's like the one who's her life is consumed by her children. Yeah. And then Kathryn Hahn is kind of like your breath of fresh air. She's the one who just doesn't give a fuck, and she's the slutty one.
Yeah, her kid's older too.
Yeah,
so
fully admits that she sucks as a parent, but she loves it.
Well, it's really funny. She's divorced in the movie, and so you just kind of get to watch her guy bash a lot. She's like out there ready to sling some leg. Yeah,
exactly. I like where, you know, whenever she first meets Kristen Bell's husband and sees what a dick he is, she's like, "Nice to meet you, Ike Turner." So, yeah. So they were really good, and I thought the side characters were really good, too. You know, Christina Applegate plays the bad guy, pretty much, and she was fun, and she was effective as being that hateful bitch that you're supposed to hate.
Yeah, she was the PTA psycho, controlling mom that, like, everybody hates, but no one can get rid of her.
Yeah, everybody feels like they have to appease her.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, Jada Pinkett Smith is one of her, like, her crew, and she's pretty funny as kind of her sidekick, and Jay Hernandez has a pretty decent-sized role in this. He plays kind of Mila Kunis's love interest, so he's kind of like the widower that all the moms want.
Yeah, the
And-
hot guy that takes care of his daughter by himself, so all the girls like spoon over him.
Yeah, exactly. So he was pretty good too, and he's pretty much the only likable guy in the movie.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
And something that was pretty cool too, it's not really a spoiler, but if stay past whenever the credits start rolling, because they do something really cool and creative once the movie is in the credits with dealing with pretty much it's like a interview with the stars and their moms, and it was really cool. It was
kind of nice because you got the
kind of ends on a sweet note.
Yeah, you have the comedy throughout the whole movie, but that's like it tugs at your heartstrings. It's really cute. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and there's a lot, we'll get into it a little bit when I start talking about some of my negatives, but there are some good parts where they start
messing up.
Well, no, where they start taking on some like heartfelt moments. I thought worked pretty good, and but above all, it's just the movie's fucking hilarious from start to end. Like there's a scene where Catherine Hahn's trying to explain to Mila Kunis how to deal with an uncircumcised penis, and I swear to God, like the whole theater was fucking holding their side laughing for that whole 5 minutes.
It was hilarious.
So,
they have a lot of good chemistry on set, and it feels like everybody's got that sort of friendship with people. Like you've got it with some of your friends, how Zach's kind of your wild friend and Sam's kind of the more timid friend, and you're kind of the in between. And then I would kind of say maybe I'm the more wild friend out of mine, maybe not.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So yeah, it's definitely hilarious. Now getting into a few of my negatives. I don't know if you'll agree with them, or do you even have any negatives? You want to go first?
I didn't really have a lot of negatives for the movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Exactly. So the one negative that I'll say the most, and this is coming from me just being a guy, and this is geared towards women, so it's not going to be something you're going to hear very often. Towards the end, I thought there was a little bit too much guy bashing. Like every guy character, with the exception of Jay Hernandez's, they're all cheaters, and they're like the lazy turds, and then you got the controlling dicks, and even her boss at work is kind of an asshole, and like it's one of those things. It's kind of the complaint that I have with Ghostbusters too, is that when it's geared towards a women audience, it almost seems like they have to bash guys like we all suck. Yeah. And it was kind of it was a little bit too much for me. Some of the jokes work really well, and it's like, okay, we had that coming. Yeah. But towards the end, it was like, all right, come on, it's getting a little bit too much. Like, there's obviously, since we've already talked about Jay Hernandez being her love interest, it goes without saying that Mila Kunis and her husband, the marriage is kind of on the rocks.
It's falling apart.
And they mention faults on both ends. Things that Mila Kunis has done to kind of make him feel unloved, and things that the husband has done to make Mila Kunis feel like she doesn't have any help. But by the end, they really only hold the husband responsible for anything. Like, Mila Kunis is supposed to be the innocent one, and he's the one who ruined everything, yet they both kind of, it takes two. So I thought that was...
They kind of go into that a little bit as far as about the faults part when she's having lunch with her girlfriends, and she's saying, well, we fell in love when we were in high school, and I got pregnant and we got married, so it kind of you've always got that one friend that seems like they always do everything for the wrong reasons. Like, okay, well, that's get married and then have a baby and then start your life together, and then at that point you're kind of not too far in to get out, but that's how a lot of people feel. Well, they've invested all this time and effort, and they've got kids and everything. So.
Well, that's a tale as old as time as far as marriages that don't work. It's just, we had a baby, so we stayed together.
Exactly.
But my thing was just, whenever they start kind of mentioning things that they did that made the marriage start falling apart, I felt like it was kind of manipulating to where Mila Kunis was innocent and she was this big victim, and then, the guy... I mean, this is getting way deeper than this comedy needs to get, but the guy is just like this asshole that ruined everything, and to me it was kind of like, come on now, really? Yeah. Like, slight spoiler, but nothing big. Like the big thing that sets them apart whenever the marriage is over with, pretty much, is that she walks in and her husband's caught jerking off, and.
To a live porno girl that he's seen for like months on end.
Yes, I understand that's a little bit deeper than just getting caught whacking off, but still, at the base of it, he's caught jerking off. And yet, later on in the movie, Mila Kunis has sex while they're still married, yet everybody's okay with that, but he's, Satan for what he did. So, anyway, moving on from that was just something, as a guy, that I had a little bit of a problem with. Like I was saying earlier, there is some good heartfelt moments, but sometimes they move from like the extreme comedy bits right into some serious like heartfelt stuff. To me, it was a little bit jarring sometimes at how quick they wanted you to switch your mood. But that's just a minor little nitpick. And again, slight spoilers is the only other thing that my own personal little nitpick. You know, you spent the whole movie being told that Christina Applegate is this, you know, unredeemable, hateful bitch.
Yeah.
And everything that she does, you're like, oh my god, you want to reach the screen and just,
you
know,
hate her.
You want to rip her fucking hair out.
Yeah,
and
she's
you just,
one of those characters that from the very beginning you're just like, ugh,
Yeah,
I
you-
hate her, and you just
you want
hate her even more every
Yeah.
second of the movie.
Yeah, you want her to lose in every way possible.
Yeah.
And, you know, after, you know, the towards the end of the movie, you know, Mila Kunis gets the better of Christina Applegate, and then all of a sudden she's just forgiven. Like, she likes her all of a sudden. She's like, oh, well, I didn't realize your life was so bad, because Christina Applegate goes into this big, long speech about why she's so mean.
I
and
thought it was really funny because Mila Kunis, the girl's crying in her car, and Mila Kunis knocks on the window, and she's like, what's wrong? You've got a great life. You've got like 3 boats. And
She's like, I have
Christina
4.
Applegate's like, I have 4.
So you know, I even leaned over to you, and she gets done with this whole sappy speech about why her life sucks, and I was like, please laugh at her. Please laugh at her and walk away, because that would have been...
No, I felt the same way. I felt like they could have gone that way, but...
Yeah. I mean, it leads to a funny scene that the movie closes on with all 3 of them, with the plane.
Oh, it's 4 of them. 4 of them. It's Christina Applegate.
Yeah, well, I'm saying the 3 main characters, you know, but to me, it would have been funnier had, you know, she went through that whole long speech, you know, wanting everybody's sympathy, and Mila Kunis just laughed at her and flipped her off and walked away victorious.
I mean, there were a few little spots where Mila Kunis did give her the big middle finger, as far as like when she's pulling up in her husband's like cruising around car, dropping the kids off.
Well, that's throughout the
she's
movie.
Like,
I'm
hey,
talking about...
you coming to the PTA tonight? Mila Kunis is like, nah. I just kind of felt like it would have been better if she would have been like, fuck off, you know, after she'd
That's
already
what I'm
been such a
saying.
bitch to her.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of had been built up the whole movie. You're waiting for her to get hers, and
Yeah,
she, you know,
and she
she
didn't.
loses, but at the same time, it didn't quite. It could have been driven home if she would have
Yeah.
just like laughed at her or flipped her off or something like that. But anyway, nothing real big. And
I would say another bad thing about it too was not really bad, but unrealistic as far as Christina Applegate breaking into the school and, you know, planting stuff in her daughter's locker and all sorts of stuff. I understand they needed that, but I felt like it was kind of dumb. We thought they were going somewhere else with how Christina Applegate was going to get back at Mila Kunis, but
I don't know. It's a comedy, so I don't know. You have to kind of suspend your disbelief to a degree,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you're kind of led to believe that she's almost like the god of this school and can pretty much do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
So that didn't really stick out to me. But that was really all I had bad to say about this. For the most part, I loved it, and I was surprised how much I liked it.
yeah.
You know, when I saw the trailers, you know, with comedy trailers nowadays, you always worry because you're
They show
thinking,
you everything that's
well, yeah,
funny.
you're worried that they either showed me everything that's funny about this movie, I'm going to walk in knowing all the best parts, or, you know, once in a while you'll get surprised, and this is definitely a surprise.
Yeah.
You know, I was surprised at how
was good.
much I was laughing. I figured you know, movies like this always have, you know, you ladies attached to it where you're like, you come home and you come home raving.
To us. Like,
well, yeah,
in a way, I'm different than most people because, like, you help me out a lot with the kids as far as taking them to school and everything. But, like, when you're not here or the week you were in Ohio and stuff, it was really, really hard on me because I'm like, oh my God, I'm running around doing it all by myself. So I kind of felt like how she did in those scenes where she was, like, crazy out of her mind trying to do everything as far as, like, eating in her car and spilling it all over herself, just exhaustedly tired and stuff. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So yeah, what are you gonna give it on our rating scale? Remember the rating scale? It's either
See it in theaters.
No. It's either so skip it, Netflix it, buy it, see it in theaters.
I would see it in theaters. I enjoyed it a lot. Of course, buy it afterwards, but I would definitely say it's something you should see in theaters. It was good.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's definitely, and especially now that it's not going to be the first week that it's out. You know, comedies and horror movies are always better to me when the theater audience is a little bit
Has
smaller.
died down, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, you don't have so many people talking or laughing.
It wasn't even really that bad when we went in. You know, we got good seats and it wasn't jam packed. But then again, there was.
I was one of like 6 men that were there.
It was funny. I laughed throughout that. I was just talking with Cody about that, telling him you were one of 7 or 8 men that were probably in the theater. So thanks for coming.
Exactly.
and biting that bullet for me.
Exactly. Well, that's it, guys. So go see it in theaters. If you're a guy, I think most guys are going to walk away surprised at how funny this is. Definitely go see it if you're a mom. If you're a parent in general, you're going to love this. So Go check it out in theaters. It's been another review by Cody and Holly from the Cody Leach podcast. Go ahead and like and subscribe below on YouTube or SoundCloud. Leave any comments or questions on this review or your own opinion on this movie below. And you can also send it on Twitter using the hashtag the Cody Leach podcast.
I say we go punch that chick right in the tits.
Great.
I'm in.